What's happening, my night guy people? Hope y'all are doing well today. So, a follower sent me this. It's probably been over a week ago now. And, I've just kind of been a little hesitant to share it. Not because it's absolutely true or anything like that. I don't know for a fact. I guess it was just kind of one of those things that was kind of on the edge for me. And maybe it's justified, maybe not. Maybe I'm just reading into it. I mean, it's zombies. You know what I'm saying? So um, a lot of people don't know it, or at least according to this video. But supposedly there is a actual like military group known as the Zombie Response Team. All right. Well, in cases where there's supposedly a zombie outbreak or whatever, these guys are the ones that respond. And recently, with the CDC putting out a zombie preparedness memo, Amazon even has instances where you can use their materials in the case of a zombie apocalypse. And there was something with the DHS as well that supposedly put out something about zombie preparedness, right? I know I kind of laugh at it, but I guess the idea isn't as far-fetched as we may all think. So this video here is supposedly, and like I said, for entertainment purposes only, viewer discretion. It could be an absolute fake very easily. Could it be real? Sure, it could be real as well. But supposedly this team member from the response team felt that the public should hear about the actual reality of the situation. He wanted to share it and figured we should have a chance to, at least know of it. So this video is a short 3-minute video, supposedly of a briefing given to the zombie response team. All right. It's not the whole thing, but I actually do have the transcript of the whole thing that I'll read to finish the briefing. I'll just have to read it out loud rather than it be under supposed undercover camera in the briefing room. So check this out. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If zombies are real, if they're fake. It's always fun to talk about, and it seems to grab people's attention. It intrigues people. So check this out. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Real, fake, zombies exist or not. And I'll respond after probably later tonight.
Now that we got all the real proof out of the way, check out this 8-minute video that sums everything up and some.
Most of you have never heard of the Zombie Hazard Unit. Those of you who have will try in vain to find me after you see this. For the rest of you, the activities of this top secret working group have never before been revealed until now. They don't want you to know they exist. There are those of us in the community who feel the public has a right to know of the imminent threat we all face. The following is a briefing, covertly recorded, of the Zombie Hazard Unit at work.
For entertainment
Here's
purposes
where it gets
only.
interesting. We now have research notes from a top U.S. scientist who is intimately familiar with a zombie infection. He studied both the pre- and post-mortem zombie condition before PD. He has identified and named the virus, Cryptonecrophagia vulgaris, CNV. It's a retrovirus, and there's no cure. This scientist's notes indicate prions may also be involved in the infectious process. However, at this point it remains unclear what, if any, role they play. Remember the single life subject I mentioned earlier? Unfortunately, the subject and scientist are one and the same. We do not know how much time he has left before he's no longer of any use, except perhaps for dissection. So we need more live specimens. Keep that in mind during operations. Problem number 4. Mode of transmission, currently unknown. Transmission modes ruled out: bites, scratches, casual contact, vector infection, droplet, or airborne spread. Some Z team members can attest to the fact that bites and scratches don't spread infection, at least not yet. To date, 12 team members have been wounded while engaged in field operations. They've undergone mandatory 90-day quarantine. None have showed any signs of infection. Not all team members are out of quarantine yet, but we hope they'll be released and return to active duty soon. Problem number 5. Emerging public awareness of the situation. I'm going to mention each of these points, then talk about them in greater detail. There are things you need to know. First, the Coconut Grove fly-in. Many of you were there. Then there's the Miami incident. Some of you were there. The CDC Zombie Apocalypse Preparedness Release. DHS released a fake zombie preparedness story. Then there's the recent purchases of large quantities of ammunition. About the Coconut Grove fly-in, Z Teams 1, 2, and 3 cleaned down a zombie cell. That got a lot of public attention. Our cover story was that this was an urban assault exercise in preparation for the upcoming year.
Urban assault exercise for now our cover story, but one got away. That led to the Miami incident that should have never happened. In the Miami incident, some of you were there. Our cover story was bath salts. That was blown when the autopsy results were leaked. There were no bath salts present. We're still dealing with the fallout, and we're investigating the leak. The CDC Zombie Apocalypse Preparedness Release, as it sent out against our wishes, then they changed their story. This brought even more attention to it than if they just left it alone. Next, the DHS released a fake zombie preparedness story against our wishes, but it's out there, so we're going to use it as our cover story. Next month, DHS is running a 1,000-person training exercise in San Diego. Z Teams 2, 4, and 5 will be doing a cleanup operation in another part of the city at the same time. This gives us plausible deniability. I shouldn't have to stress how important this is to make certain none of them get away. We don't want another Miami on our hands. About the ammo purchases, reviews new and various media outlets to flow the idea that large ammo purchases are for government agencies to defend against civil unrest in anticipation of economic collapse. Those of you in this room know all too well this is a much nicer bedtime story than the truth. Reality is much less pleasant. Right now, the cover story is working. Problem number 6, weakening of current cover stories. Bath salts in Florida. Bath salts was a go-to drug of choice. The autopsy link created problems for this story. Other drugs, synthetic marijuana, a spice, were floating in Louisiana, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Crazy people were floating this idea around in Louisiana, New York, Chicago. Animal attacks as story, Georgia, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. We estimate 2 years of liability for these cover stories. Finally, calling the number 7, public distribution of full disclosure of current operations. Some brainiac has lined up all the recent events and passed historic like beads on a string. We don't know where he's getting his information, but too much of the actual facts of our operation are woven into this story. It's not coincidence. He's getting his information somewhere. The story is Dr. Eve, Zombie Killer. It's presented as a fictional novel, and it's a .com and independent website where the book can be found. For those of you who are wondering, we currently have no plans to shut down the site. We need to gather further intelligence to find out what their sources of information are. Right now, John Q. Public does not know what's happening. Okay, so I looked into this Dr. Eve Zombie Killer story, right? The Dr. Eve Zombie Killer story is about a female who's, I want to say she like loses her family or something like that, but basically she figures out these zombies exist, right? And she quits her day job as a doctor and becomes a full-time zombie hunter. And according to this, there's more truth to that than is fiction. He labels the book fiction. This Dr. Eve Zombie Killer, the author, labels it fiction, but in turn it is not. It's actually more fact than fiction. So wrap your head around that, y'all. A previous doctor whose name is Eve is out here hunting zombies. Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. Like, where's the movie at, bro? Like, it just reminds me of Resident Evil. It reminds me like Resident Evil, but just on a different tip, you know? I can't lie, it sounds entertaining. Like, come on, like, you know, like Scarlett Johansson or Kate Beckinsale, let's get it, you know? You know what I'm saying? But no, for real, like, makes you wonder, you know, is there some truth to this? Y'all heard they said that the infection cannot be transmitted by bite or scratch, which that's a good thing. I would say, you know, all the movies depict that if you get bit, you get the infection. Obviously, if it is real, it's forever changing. The virus is forever evolving. So maybe someday it will become to where if they bite you, it's transmitted. It kind of surprised me that it didn't transmit upon bite, but he said something as a source in the beginning of the whole video, and I wasn't sure exactly what he said. If anybody knows that, let me know in the comments what he said there. I'm not really on the up and up on what that means, but yeah, Dr. Eve Zombie Killer. Supposedly there's of course she's got to be hot, right? Female doctor out here hunting zombies. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds awesome. So, yeah, no, I had to share it, guys, for entertainment purposes only. This could all be scripted around the book. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, don't lose any sleep over it. It's a good fun, but you gotta ask yourself, you know, what do I say, y'all? Truth is stranger than fiction, right? So you can't rule it out. You just cannot rule it out. So yeah, with the pandemic and everything going on, or previously, I know zombies was a big narrative, and you know, there's been prophets that predicted zombies in our future, so you never know, I guess. Hate to say it, if it does happen, that most likely it's not a natural nature given virus. It's going to be a man-made created virus, but hopefully that day does not come. I know everybody says in the comments, yeah, it's going to be fun, zombies, yeah, oh, this sounds great. It'll be fun for about the first day, not even, because it would be just absolute chaos, right? It ain't like the movies, y'all. It ain't like Call of Duty. It's definitely not anything like that, you know? So I know it sounds fun on paper, but in reality, it's not fun. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Cool little tidbit here. Pretty cool scenario anyway, if it is real. If it's not, I'm not saying either way. Either way, it's fun to think about and wrap your head around it. You know, I'm always prepared, so I like to think, you know, I am anyway, at least mildly. So I don't lose sleep over the stuff, but it could happen. That's all I'm saying. World War Z, got to remember in World War Z too, how when you got sick, you were they didn't attack you at that point. They were looking for healthy hosts, so that could be a tactic we use later on, right? No, so yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you happen to find the full 8-minute video on this briefing here, I couldn't find it online or on YouTube or anything like that, but if you happen to find it, send it my way, nightguide87 at ProtonMail. And also, guys, do me a solid, head over to my Twitter. I'm not as worried about Snapchat. They're still hating. They aren't playing my videos, so head over to Twitter though, man, and if you guys would give me a follow on Twitter, I'd love that, man. It would really mean a lot to me, because you have to have 10,000 followers to get to the next level as a creator on Twitter. So I'd like to start working on Twitter. If you guys would hop over there, I've been posting most of my content to it, and plan to continue to. Also, my podcast, it's on all the major podcast platforms. A Cap with Night God, and I post all my lives, and I even post right now. You can actually play the videos on Spotify, so if you head on Spotify, you can actually play video. All right, but if you just want to listen, you can do that too. But I always play sound, or at least the sound of all my content, even in the longer videos, like the Denver airport video. I did make it a podcast episode, and then all my lives are on there as well. And you guys, it's full of content. I think I almost got 100 episodes now. So go check out my podcast. Let's get that popping, and then my Twitter as well, guys. And I appreciate y'all. You know that. I couldn't do it without you. Love y'all. And yeah, I am out.